Axel Springer. You might not recognize the name right away, but you've definitely felt his impact. He built a media empire, one newspaper at a time, starting in post-war Germany. Springer's newspapers, especially the iconic Bild, became hugely popular. Imagine the reach of a modern-day social media giant, but in the palm of your hand, printed on slightly off-white paper. But success came with controversy. In the 1960s, Axel Springer's newspapers took strong political stances, often against communism and authoritarian regimes. This wasn't just about selling newspapers anymore, it was about ideology, about influence, about the very soul of a nation finding its footing in a rapidly changing world. Now, you can't talk about Axel Springer without talking about press freedom. It was the cornerstone of his life's work, the very essence of his mission. It was his soapbox, his battle cry, his line in the sand. He stood firm, unwavering, in his belief that a free press was the bedrock of a free society. He believed in it with a fervor that would make a televangelist blush. His passion was palpable, his dedication unshakable. And look, it wasn't just talk. He put his money where his mouth was, investing in journalism that dared to speak truth to power. This was the 1960s in Germany, a time and place where the wounds of censorship were still fresh. The scars of a not-so-distant past were visible everywhere. Speaking out against those in power wasn't just frowned upon, it could land you in hot water faster than you could say Guten Tag. The risks were real, the stakes high. Springer, though, he wasn't afraid of a little hot water. He thrived in it, using every challenge as fuel for his relentless pursuit of press freedom. His critics accused him of using his newspapers to push his own agenda, to manipulate the masses. They saw him as a puppet master pulling the strings, and to be fair, they weren't entirely wrong. He did have strong opinions and wasn't shy about expressing them. Springer was a man with strong convictions, and he wasn't shy about using his platform to express them. He saw his newspapers as a vehicle for change. But here's the thing. Springer also understood that a free press wasn't just about him or his opinions. It was about creating a space where diverse voices could be heard. It was about the free exchange of ideas, even the ones he vehemently disagreed with. He knew that true freedom meant allowing dissent. He knew that a society where everyone thinks the same, where dissent is silenced, is a society on the fast track to nowhere good. It was a path to stagnation and decay. So, he fought for a press that was free to criticize, to question, to hold a mirror up to power and say, hey, not so fast. He believed in accountability. When his newspapers were attacked, literally firebombed, because of their stance against communism, Springer didn't back down. He doubled down. He saw it as a call to action. He wasn't just a businessman, he was a fighter for press freedom. His resolve only grew stronger in the face of adversity. And that, my friends, is a legacy that deserves to be remembered. A legacy of courage, conviction, and an unwavering belief in the power of a free press. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the algorithm in the smartphone, the internet, that digital beast that was about to turn the media world upside down and inside out. Now, you might think that a guy like Axel Springer, a man who built his empire on ink and paper, would be terrified of this new digital frontier. But you'd be wrong. Because Axel Springer, the man who seemed to have a sixth sense for sniffing out change before it even happened, saw the internet not as a threat, but as an opportunity. A massive, terrifying, exhilarating opportunity. He knew that the media landscape was changing, that the old ways were frankly dying, and that to survive, let alone thrive, he needed to adapt. And adapt he did. Instead of resisting the digital revolution, Axel Springer's company went all in on digital media. He invested billions into online news, digital advertising, and e-commerce. He understood that the future of news wasn't going to be about delivery trucks and newsstands. It was going to be about fiber optic cables and smartphones. He knew that people wanted their news faster, more concise, more tailored to their interests. And Springer was determined to give the people what they wanted. This was a full-blown digital transformation. He bought up successful online platforms, invested in promising startups, and basically turned his company into a digital media powerhouse. Today, over 85% of Axel Springer's revenue comes from digital platforms. Springer, the man who built his empire on paper, had managed to turn a dying industry into a digital powerhouse. He proved that news wasn't dead, it just needed to evolve. He showed the world that embracing change, rather than fearing it, could lead to unprecedented success. Axel Springer's journey into the digital abyss wasn't just about survival. It was about thriving in a new era. His vision and bold moves set a precedent for the entire media industry. In the end, it wasn't just about adapting to the digital age, it was about leading it. Axel Springer became a beacon of innovation, proving that with the right mindset, any challenge could be turned into an opportunity. Chapter 3. A global empire built on words. So, we've talked about Springer's unwavering belief in press freedom, his almost preternatural ability to sniff out a changing tide in the media landscape. But what about the legacy he left behind? What happened to that scrappy little publishing house he started back in the ashes of post-war Germany? Well, buckle up because it's about to get big. Like, really big. We're talking global media empire big. See, Axel Springer wasn't content with just conquering the German media market. He had bigger fish to fry, more newspapers to print, more websites to launch, more digital mountains to climb. He expanded his company beyond Germany, reaching out across borders, across oceans, across language barriers, to build a media empire that spanned continents. He acquired publications in Eastern Europe, dipped his toes into the American market, and basically planted his flag on every corner of the globe. Springer had this almost missionary zeal for spreading his gospel of a free and independent press. He believed that everyone, regardless of where they lived or what language they spoke, deserved access to unbiased, fact-based information. He saw the power of media not just to inform, but to educate, to empower, to give a voice to the voiceless. And he was determined to use his growing media empire to do just that. Chapter 4. Lessons from a Media Maverick. So what can we learn from this titan of type, this emperor of the editorial page, this, okay, I'll stop, but seriously, what can we glean from the life and times of Axel Springer? Axel Springer was not just a media mogul, he was a visionary who transformed the landscape of journalism. His journey is a masterclass in ambition, resilience, and innovation. What wisdom can we extract from his meteoric rise to media dominance? What lessons can we apply to our own lives and careers? Well, buckle up because class is in session and Professor Oliver is about to drop some knowledge bombs. Lesson number 1, think big, and I mean really big. Don't limit yourself to thinking small, to just playing it safe. Dream beyond the ordinary. Axel Springer didn't become a media mogul by thinking small. He had a vision, a grand sweeping vision of building a media empire, and he went for it with the tenacity of a bulldog chewing on a particularly delicious bone. He didn't just dream of owning a newspaper, he dreamed of owning a network of newspapers, a constellation of magazines, a whole damn galaxy of digital platforms. He understood that to truly make an impact, you have to think beyond the immediate, beyond the comfortable, beyond the confines of what you think is possible. Lesson number 2, stand for something. Have a backbone. Don't be afraid to fight for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular, even when it's downright dangerous. Axel Springer was a man of strong convictions, and he wasn't afraid to let the world know it. He believed in the power of a free press, and he defended it with a ferocity that would make a honey badger blush. He stood up to communists, to dictators, to anyone who threatened the freedom of the press. He understood that a free press wasn't just a nice idea. It was the cornerstone of a functioning democracy. It was the watchdog that kept power in check, the voice of the people, the champion of truth, and he was willing to put everything on the line to protect it. Axel Springer's legacy is a testament to the power of thinking big and standing firm. His life teaches us that with vision and courage we can achieve the extraordinary. So as we navigate our own paths, let's remember the lessons from this media maverick. Think big, stand for something, and never underestimate the power of a free press. Because in the end, it's not just about building an empire, it's about making a difference. And that's a lesson worth learning. Axel Springer's story is a reminder that one person can make a difference. It's a testament to the power of hard work, unwavering conviction, and the ability to adapt to a changing world. He showed us that a free press is not a given. It's something that must be fought for, protected, and cherished. Because in a world where information is power, a free press is the great equalizer, the voice of the people, the guardian of truth. So, the next time you open a newspaper, scroll through a news website, or even just share a news article on social media, remember the legacy of Axel Springer. Remember the man who fought for your right to know, to question, to be informed. And remember that the fight for a free press is never truly over. See you in the next one.